What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos Jr., and this was a 12-rounder for the unified WBC franchise, WBO, WBA, and IBF Lightweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, November 27th, from the Madison Square Garden Theater in New York City, New York, and this fight was broadcasted on DAZN, and in this fight, George Kambosos Jr. was able to get the upset of the year, defeating Teofimo Lopez by a split decision. Outstanding performance from George Kambosos, might I say. He proved me wrong 100%. He fought the fight of his life, and he looked amazing in it. And I had the bout scored 114 to 112 in favor of George Kambosos. George Kambosos Jr., I should say, and the judges had the bout 115 to 112 and 115 to 111 in favor of Kambosos Jr., and one judge had it 114 to 113 in favor of Teofimo Lopez. This was a great fight. It was an all-out war. Early on, let me just talk about the first round first. So, Teofimo Lopez was dominating George Kambosos. He was coming forward, laying beautiful right hands, and might I say brutal right hands as well, as Kambosos was getting thrown around like a rag doll, basically. He looked like he was going to get knocked out in the first 4 or 5 rounds. But then, a Hail Mary overhand right hand lands for Kambosos right on the chin area, it looked like, of Teofimo Lopez, and he got dropped. I believe that was the first time Teofimo Lopez has ever been down in his career. What a shot. Took it, and it made Teofimo Lopez's legs give out. What a shot that was, and Lopez was wobbly going back to his corner. I was literally right at the end of that first round. Then from there on, the rounds 2 and 3 were really, really close. They could have went either way, and I gave them to Lopez, both of them. But then Kambosos really started to outbox Teofimo, and I gave him rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. It looked like he was going to win comfortably on the judges' scorecards, but then, after round 7, Teofimo really started to pick it up. I gave him rounds, I believe, 8, 9, and 10. And speaking of round 10, Teofimo Lopez actually dropped George Kambosos in round 10 with a beautiful right hand to the ear of Kambosos, which sent him down to the canvas. And that was an excellent shot from Teofimo Lopez. But to talk about those middle rounds a bit more, Kambosos was just simply outboxing Teofimo, and this was before the knockdown in round 10, from rounds 4 to maybe round 7. Teofimo was just getting outboxed. Kambosos was on the outside outboxing him, landing some counters, jabs to the head, jabs to the body, right hands, just slip counters, hooks, specifically that left hook. But then in rounds 8, 9, and 10, Lopez was just coming forward. It looked like he was rejuvenated because he took so many rounds off that he lost, and then he was just coming forward, landing the better shots, landing some nice jabs, keeping Kambosos at bay at moments, and then landing some nice right hands. That's why I gave him those rounds, and especially he scored the knockdown. But then 11 and 12, I gave them to Kambosos, because in round 10, Teofimo Lopez he punched himself out, basically. He took so much energy out of himself in that round because he tried to knock out Kambosos, but ever since that knockdown, he was just the one coming forward in that rest of that 10th round, throwing big shots, missing a lot, and he was just simply gassed from rounds 11 and 12. And 12, he tried to muster up enough energy to throw a lot of shots and try and land them, but it just didn't work out, and Kambosos won them pretty easily, in my opinion. And with that being said, yeah, George Kambosos is the new unified lightweight world champion. What an upset. This is definitely the upset of the year. No question. Definitely the upset of the year. People were saying that this is going to be a step-up fight, or not a step-up fight, just an easy fight for Lopez, or just a stay-busy fight, I should say, just to get him a nice title defense before he rematches Lomachenko, fights Devin Haney or something like that. But no. Now we see Teofimo Lopez losing for the first time in his career. And, Kambosos fought better than Lomachenko, in my opinion. He throughout the whole fight, he stayed strong, composed, and, he looked excellent. And when he was trying to outbox Teofimo, the thing is with Kambosos, he's definitely naturally bigger than Lomachenko, so that's what really made him successful in those early to mid rounds. So what is next for George Kambosos? I would love to see him. This is what's realistically probably going to happen. We'll probably see a rematch between Kambosos Jr. and Lopez, but another fight that I want to see next is definitely the winner of Haney versus Jojo Diaz Jr., or if not, the winner of Lomachenko versus Comey. Kambosos is definitely due for a big title defense whether that be a rematch or fighting the winners of Haney, Judge Diaz Jr., or the winner of Lomachenko versus Comey. As for Teofimo Lopez, I think the most realistic option is definitely a rematch, but I hope he could possibly fight someone else, because I mean immediate rematches are kind of indifferent in this sport, depending on whether it was an excellent fight. Although this was an excellent fight, I would still like to see George Kambosos take on somebody different. But the most realistic option is probably an immediate rematch. But otherwise, another fight aside from an immediate rematch for Teofimo Lopez could be fighting someone who's in the top 10, top 15 in the lightweight division. That's not obviously a world title holder, an interim title holder, someone like that. So overall, George Kambosos Jr. upsets Teofimo Lopez, getting a split decision victory to become the new unified lightweight world champion. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.